What's up, everyone? Jake Berlin with Apocalypse Movies, and this is my review of Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Edition. So, if you've been watching us for a while, you know that I wasn't the biggest fan of Batman v Superman. The marketing kind of got me out of whack. I was afraid they're going to go too Justice League on this film, throw in too much of the other characters instead of focusing on what the title actually is, Batman v Superman. And ultimately, I kind of felt like I was right. I felt like it was more Dawn of Justice, more than Batman v Superman. And although there were some great parts of the movie, there was a lot of the movie that was not good. The editing was out of whack. It just felt like it was 6 different movies. There was so much Justice League and other characters in there. The Lex Luthor stuff did not work for me at all. Batman was really great. There wasn't enough Superman. That was my personal thoughts on it. And if I remember correctly, I think I gave the film 6 out of 10, which isn't a bad score, but it's not what we were hoping. And this is supposed to be the biggest movie of the year. It's Batman and Superman on screen together for the first time. You throw in Wonder Woman, and she was great, but the last 20 minutes or so, it was all Dawn of Justice, and I felt like the Batman v Superman part of it did not live up to what it was supposed to. And just a week after the film's release, 2-3 weeks, whatever it was, they announced the Ultimate Cut, which is basically Zack Snyder's version of the film that he always wanted. Warner Brothers didn't allow the 3-hour cut, which totally makes sense. But so everybody's been waiting for this Ultimate Edition. 30 extra minutes. It's rated R. It's going to be the movie we wanted. And that may be the case, but ultimately that's not the film that was released in theaters. So how much can we go off of it? That'll be debated for a while. But as far as the Ultimate Edition goes, the biggest positive for me starting off is the editing is much better. Obviously, they didn't cut out any scenes. I think this is the movie that Zack Snyder always wanted to make. I think this is the movie he made for the studio to be released. And, you can tell the editing is much better than the theatrical version. The pacing is much better. Scenes make sense now. The beginning scene in the desert makes a lot more sense. Lex Luthor's storyline is fleshed out a ton more, especially the stuff with the court and the senator. There's just so much more there and so much more time to fluidly make this film. It definitely works better as far as editing goes. Although I don't like the character of Lex Luthor and what they tried to do with him, like I said, his storyline is much better in the Ultimate Edition. It's fleshed out more. You understand what he's doing, where he's coming from, his plans. It's all there. There's not just bits and pieces. Even a little stuff at the end as far as Batman and possibly Suicide Squad go. There's a ton of more stuff with Lex Luthor in there, and if you didn't like him in the theatrical version, there is a chance you will like him in the Ultimate Edition, because of his storyline. There's much more there. And that's kind of what Zack Snyder told us. 30 more minutes, you're going to think that, oh, maybe we'll get more Batman v Superman. No, there's so many more characters in there. There's more chance for them to fluidly and fruitfully get there by the end of the film. Sticking with my original positives, Batman is fantastic, obviously. We see those fight scenes with him. I think Ben Affleck is the best Batman so far. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, time will tell. We didn't see a ton of him in this movie, but I think he is the best Batman. We saw a lot more Clark Kent as well, which I was very happy with. We saw him as the reporter. Not much, but there was a ton. Ton more than the theatrical version, at least. And, Amy Adams, she's great at Lois Lane. I'm still bugged by how she ended up in the final act of that film, but hey, that's what it is. So yeah, for me, kind of talking about my positives compared to the theatrical version and the Ultimate Edition, it's definitely the editing. The editing makes the film so much more better. That's what I had a problem with. First time around, it just felt so off. And the Lex Luthor storyline made a lot more sense this time around. And I still don't like the character. I still don't like what they tried to do with him. But his storyline works in the Ultimate Edition, and it makes more sense. As far as negatives go, the script is still so iffy to me. I don't think it was written very well, personally. There were some dialogue things I was like, oh, why would he say this, or why would she say this? Just some things here and there that kind of didn't take me out of the movie, but I was just kind of pondering about. kind of made me just shake my head a little bit. Um, and like I said earlier, the Lex Luthor stuff still does not work for me at all. Um, you know, I think Jesse Eisenberg was great, but I think they just wrote him wrong. I don't like how he was the one who discovered the Justice League, and how he's the one with Darkseid and Steppenwolf and all this kind of stuff. And speaking of Steppenwolf, I don't like the Justice League stuff. I think there's too much of it. It was cool seeing the Flash come in for a little tease. I think the wrong way of introducing the Justice League was why would you do it over a computer with Wonder Woman? I think there were so many better ways you could have done it. Sure, they were cool little snippets into what their characters are, but the possibilities to introduce them, slightly in the movie or even down the road, there were so many more. So that's my personal feelings on it. Yeah, I think that, again, sticking with my review from the theatrical version, I just think it was too much Dawn of Justice over Batman v Superman. The Batman v Superman stuff is cool, it's great, but there wasn't enough of it. I was expecting, Batman v Superman for 2+ hours, and we got maybe an hour of it out of a 2-hour 45-minute movie, or 2-hour 30-minute movie, whatever the runtime was, and that's unfortunate because after that first trailer dropped at Comic-Con so many years ago, we were all losing our minds over it. And then they dropped that first trailer at Comic-Con, and we're losing our flipping minds at it. And they dropped the second trailer, which showed Doomsday and, a Wonder Woman, all like the three of them teaming up. And it's just kind of, ever since then, I was so out of whack about what they were trying to do with this movie. I'm still very much looking forward to the DCEU, but, I wanted Batman v Superman. I wanted this to be the movie about these two titans on screen for the first time together. Unfortunately, they're too worried about setting up the universe and possibly catching up to Marvel. We can say that, we can't say that, I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, getting back to the Ultimate Edition, it was a better film. It kept me more engaged than the theatrical version because of the editing. The editing is what got me so uninterested the first time around. But that doesn't take away like what I dislike from the film. And it's unfortunate because this movie is supposed to be so big and so great. But, it is what it is. And it's not a misstep. It's just a little bump in the road. I think that these characters are great. There's so many great things coming out of it, like Wonder Woman and Batman. The possibilities of Superman going forward. We saw the vision that Batman had. We obviously know the ending of what happens there. But yeah, I mean, so I think the first time around I gave it a 6 out of 10. And I think I'm going to go up to I don't think I'm going to go to a 7 yet. I think I'm going to give it a 6.75. I think it's the first quarter number I've given to a movie, and I just don't think this movie deserves a 7 just yet. If I watch this Ultimate Edition maybe 1 or 2 more times, it might bump up to a 7. But I think I'm going to stick with a 6.75 for now. Like I said, there's so many good things coming out of the movie, but again, there's so many things I just didn't like and what I was hoping for. Again, the possibilities for this universe are great. There's so many good things. Next year's Wonder Woman, Batman in Suicide Squad in just a month. And there's some cool things at the end of this movie where we could possibly be seeing Lex Luthor in Suicide Squad. There's some new things, and there's a ton of new things that you did not see in the theatrical cut that you may like, you may not like. That's why we all have opinions. But yeah, so as far as Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition goes, 6.75 out of 10. Just slightly above the theatrical version for me. But that doesn't take away for, it was a much better film. It is what Zack Snyder wanted to make. And, I think that going forward, they have big plans for this universe, and hopefully they stick to, they listen to what we said as fans, and, hopefully they kind of just, not dumb down, but slow down on everything, and really think about what they want to do with this universe and characters. So, again, 6.75 out of 10. You can find me, Jake Berlin, on Twitter and Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake, and this YouTube channel every day, apocalypsemovies.com, every day as well. We're putting up all kinds of reviews and news bits up there. Check out all our shows, the Padawan Podcast, all our other movie reviews, Rumor Central, all kinds of stuff going on here in Apocalypse. And until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.